down so low so that this way it could become, you can just move in so fast. Like, this is why this was so easy for me. It was just a matter of how do you get a person to say yes? So my properties were already furnished, but I'm working on a new property in Daytona, Florida, where the rent, I only had to pay a deposit of $400. And so now I can rent all of my furniture. I'm gonna meet my furniture down in Daytona. Me and my friend gonna go. We're gonna set it up, and that's gonna be it. And it costs me under $1,000 to move in. You feel me? So like this stuff is really easy to do, guys. It's just using your resources and just making sure your business is set up the right way. All right, let's see what the pro tip section is. I feel like I went over a lot of this already, but hire cleaners. So whether you have a property team or not, you need to hire cleaners. Um, you're going to be making money per booking. So I would hire cleaners. You can even go on like Facebook or Craigslist and hire professional cleaners for like $100, maybe even $75, depending on how big your unit is. But for them to just come in, change the linen and clean and get the place smelling good and restock toiletries, you can literally charge somebody $50 to $75, especially if you have them like on payroll. That's why it would be that cheap. It's not like you just hire them one time. Like, you're going to keep hiring them every few weeks. So you could work that out and you could find somebody really reputable on Craigslist or even Facebook Marketplace. You want to have a maintenance person on standby. If it's not like a condo or apartment complex, if it's an actual house, you definitely want somebody on maintenance, maybe two people that can help with maintenance to call in case there's a plumbing issue, with your unit in Atlanta and you're out here in Massachusetts. So you obviously couldn't help them. You need to have these people on standby. You can find reputable people on like handy.com or some other kind of website where you can hire people and then develop a relationship with them, get their phone number and just keep them on standby. um have a property manager or co-host. All of my properties have co-hosts to them because, like I said, they're in Florida and other places. They're not here where I am, so it's on autopilot. I just have my bank account attached to the Airbnb verbal booking furniture finder, and the co-host communicates with everybody. The thing about co-hosting is these people want 5 stars because they're listed as a host on Airbnb. So they want to do a good job because once that rating goes down, nobody's going to book them. You can't get rid of those ratings. You can't just close that and open up a new account. Like, those ratings stay with you. So these people want to keep 5 stars. So leading co-host, as long as they're legitimate, like, you have to trust that they're going to do okay because they want to be like, it's very like a lot of money in the industry, so they don't want to ruin that and get bad stars intentionally or bad ratings intentionally just because it's not their unit. We talked about becoming a superhost. Key tips for so to become a superhost, you want to have really good reviews, um because obviously the better the reviews, you just become more trustworthy. Um, some things to become superhosts that are really simple are things like having snacks. We were talking about this at my Airbnb brunch. Like, when you go to an Airbnb and you get into an Airbnb late and you don't know the area and you're hungry or you're thirsty and you go there and the refrigerator has nothing in it, and you're like, dang, it's 11 p.m. I don't know the area. Now I got to walk around at 11 p.m. to find a store or a gas station. I don't know how safe the area is, whatever. It's late. I'm a woman. I don't want to walk outside by myself. So by having waters, juices, coffee, teas, and just snacks, I'm not saying you got to overstock, but just having a few different items for people. Popcorn if they want to watch Netflix and chill with a cozy blanket. Like, people like those things, and that'll give you really good ratings. If you have some kind of QR code or welcome letter that says, these are some restaurants nearby, these are some convenience stores nearby, here are my favorite pizza places with the phone numbers, just something to kind of make it easier for them to maneuver while they get settled in. during their stay. That'll give you really good reviews. It just means you took time to let them know. Um, and then obviously having noise sensors are really good too. So these are a few things. Oh, and having things like lighters and because they in case they want to go outside and smoke a cigarette, or on the balcony if you have one. Um, wine openers, just it's the small things that are gonna make people say, wow, thank you so much for having this. Like we didn't have to leave. Extra pairs of cozy clean socks or slippers or whatever. People will love you so much for that. And it'll make you get really good reviews so that you can hit Superhost a lot faster. All right, guys. So that is the end of our slideshow. I'm going to give you guys the contracts, the scripts, the checklist, and the letter so that you can start building your business credit. It's going to tell you step by step how to build business credit. Let me see. I need to know, Trey, am I able to, how do I end this so that people can ask questions? One second, guys. You're gonna also get the this slideshow as well. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me see. So maybe you have to type your questions in the chat. If you guys type your questions in the chat, I can answer them because I definitely want to take the time to answer some of your questions. And now, obviously, because everybody is not on here, I'm obviously going to do a separate group call where we can do more Q&As. But if there's anything anybody's excited to ask now, I would love to answer those questions for you guys right now. I'm gonna just wait a few minutes and wait for you guys to type in questions if you have some. Okay. I know one of the landlord questions may be, how do you prevent squatters? Well, because they're booking through an app and they're paying and their cards are on file. So I mean if they're not going to leave at the time of checkout, it's gonna be one of those situations where you're gonna just have to call the police. It just depends on like where we're at. Um, where you're at. So like if you're in an apartment complex or if you are in a condo where there's usually a property management team, you can just let them know. You or the co-host can let them know. But if it's like a house that you're renting where there's no additional support, you would just probably have to call the police to get them out. But I mean, I know that could happen sometimes. You hear about that rarely, but it does happen because that's just how people are. But I mean, their cards are on file. And so you might just have to get like Airbnb involved and say, hey, listen, I can't get these people to leave. And I'm sure they'll be able to help with assisting, but I would just resort and calling the police to get them out, honestly. Thank you for that question. All of my properties right now are in like their condos or like in apartment complexes. So I have that additional security. But yeah, if I rented a house and I had somebody who's just like they've been there for 6 months and although they paid and they're not trying to leave and I have the cleaning people there, like I would probably just have to call the police. You're welcome. So guys, I just need you to know, like, you can totally do this. It's just about how fast you want to implement everything. I get really obsessive over everything on one file. There's just, I believe I have just one contract. Whatever I have, I'm gonna send you guys. Whether it's one or two, it's either one or two. Um, you guys can totally, you can get this. You can get this done. You just gotta put your mind to it and move fast. Success really loves speed. Like, I never thought that I was going to get, well, I'm not gonna lie, I did know I was gonna get an Airbnb up because that's just my personality. Whenever I say I'm gonna do something, I just do it. But I gave myself 30 days and I did it in 7. And as soon as I was getting bookings and people came in, I used that money and flipped it into another Airbnb to really set myself up the way I want to be set up. I want to be making right now. I want to make $20,000 a month in Airbnb. That's what I want on autopilot, doing nothing. I'm not there yet, but I'm building up to that. So it's one of those things where, like, it takes some sacrifice. I'm not made of a ton of money, but this is a new business that I started just a month ago. No other business is funding this. My beauty execs business did not fund this. My beauty billionaires fund business did not fund this. I started this from scratch. So I really like put on my bootstraps and got to work. And here we are. And as soon as I put my listing up, within 24 hours, I had a booking. And it was literally every day I was getting booking after booking after booking. So this can easily be done. And like I said, I did my first Airbnb. It cost me under $4,000 to get started. So if you guys are interested in that route, getting an Airbnb where I have what my first one at, that's going to cost you under $5,000 and it's already furnished and it's just ready for you to just list and get bookings on. That's the easiest way I'd say to get started. You can get partners in this, whether it's through people here within our community, and just make sure you guys sign like agreements. Or if have a family member or friend outside of this, you can tell them about this business plan that you have and bring them on as a partner, as a co-host, so that everybody can see everything and you guys can split everything to make it really cost effective and just kind of keep flipping them into more Airbnbs. All right. Well, since there are no questions, don't be shy now. But since there's no questions, I'm going to. Oh, do you charge per person? Ben, what do you mean, Benita? What do you mean? Do I charge per person? Like for the Airbnb? No, it's just a flat rate. It's just so the listing will say like how many people it sleeps. So obviously, the more people it sleeps, the more you can charge, right? So say your rent is $1,000, but that $1,000 place can sleep 6 people. It makes sense to charge instead of doing what's the math on that? I'm so sorry. Hold on. Let me show you guys something. So the rent is $1,000 a month, and this place sleeps 6 people. That's gonna be about $33 a day. $33 times 3 is $100. Your base price would be $100 a night. If it sleeps 6 people, you can easily bump that up to $200 a night. But that goes with your market research. How many other